He went from popping bottles with Jay-Z to claiming he's flat out broke. Damon Dash, the once powerful Roc-A-Fella Records co-founder, has officially filed for bankruptcy, saying he's more than $25 million in debt with barely a few $1,000s to his name. That's right, the same man who once bragged about building empires is now listing just $100 in cash among his assets. How does someone go from the penthouse to the poorhouse this fast? Hey y'all, welcome back to Celebrity News Central, where we break down the biggest stories in music, film, and celebrity drama. And trust me, Dame Dash's rise and fall might be one of the wildest you'll hear this year. Now, if you're new to the name Damon Dash, let's rewind for a second, because you can't fully grasp how shocking this is without knowing the history. In the 90s and early 2000s, Dame wasn't just managing artists, he was building a movement. Along with Jay-Z and Kareem "Biggs" Burke, he co-founded Roc-A-Fella Records, the label that not only launched Jay-Z's career, but also created Rocawear clothing, movie deals, and a whole cultural wave. Dame Dash was the face of hustle, loud, bold, never backing down in a boardroom. He wanted it all: ownership, respect, and control. And for a while, he had it. But here's the question: what happens when the hustler's playbook doesn't evolve? Because while Jay-Z quietly built a billion-dollar empire, Dame took bigger, riskier swings. And those moves, once seen as fearless, started to look reckless. Which brings us to now. At 54, Dash filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Florida. And the numbers are jaw-dropping. $25.3 million in liabilities versus just $4,350 in assets. That's not just broke, that's rock bottom. His assets: a cell phone, some clothes, 2 guns, and a measly $100 bill. His income? Zero. His monthly expenses? Over $5,000. Tell me, how long could anyone last under that math? So where is all this debt coming from? Let's break it down. Nearly $19 million in unpaid taxes. The IRS isn't going anywhere. Over $647,000 in child and spousal support owed to his ex, fashion designer Rachel Roy, and others. Add in a $4 million judgment from filmmaker Josh Weber over their beef with the Dear Frank movie, and the picture gets clearer. But here's the twist. Dame says people owe him money too. He's pointed fingers at Kareem "Biggs" Burke, Chris Brown, and even Claudia Jordan. But let's be real, when the IRS is after you for nearly $20 million, is collecting from a few celebs really going to fix the hole? And here's where it gets interesting. Dame isn't the first star to go broke in dramatic fashion. Remember Mike Tyson? At his peak, he made over $300 million only to end up bankrupt. Or 50 Cent, who filed for bankruptcy back in 2015 despite once being one of the richest rappers alive. Even Hollywood icons like Nicolas Cage have faced financial collapse after massive spending sprees. The difference? Some of them managed to flip their image, rebuild their brand, and claw their way back. So the question is, can Dame Dash pull off the same miracle, or is his situation just too deep? And then there's the human side. It's not just the money. Dame's been open about his health battles too, managing diabetes, undergoing eye surgery, and even major dental work. He once said, "Somebody asked me how I got so broke. Investing in my dreams." When you dream big, you're always going to be broke. It sounds inspiring at first, right? But let me ask you, at what point does chasing dreams cross into self-destruction? Would you call it dedication or delusion? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is where fans really split. Some people argue Dame stayed real, refusing to play the corporate game that Jay-Z mastered. Others say his ego, his temper, and his refusal to adapt burned too many bridges. Remember, his fallout with Jay-Z wasn't just business, it was a cultural moment. Jay became the billionaire mogul, while Dame, once untouchable, is now standing in bankruptcy court. Two men who started at the same table, but played the game completely differently. So, here's the question. Did Dame lose because he gambled too hard, or because the industry never wanted him to win? And let's not forget, bankruptcy doesn't always mean the end. Plenty of stars have bounced back. Could Dame use his name, his story, maybe even reality TV to turn this around? Or is this truly the last chapter of one of hip-hop's loudest voices? Imagine the irony if the man who once demanded ownership ends up selling off the scraps of his empire just to settle debts. Do you think a comeback is possible? Or is it time for Dame to accept the curtains closed? From champagne towers at the Roc-A-Fella offices to counting pennies in bankruptcy filings, Damon Dash's story is a cautionary tale. It's about hustle, ambition, and maybe about what happens when you refuse to slow down. And while Jay-Z plays chess at the billionaires table, Dame is left scrambling just to stay in the game. So now I'm throwing it over to you. Do you think Dame Dash is a victim of his own ambition, or did the industry do him dirty? Could he reinvent himself, or is this truly the end of the Roc-A-Fella dream? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to stay locked in here at Celebrity News Central, because in the world of celebrity highs and lows, the next twist is always around the corner. See you in the next video.